All right, hi there. Welcome to today's video. Today we'll be talking about this net worth and financial freedom calculator that I've created in Google Sheets. And in this, I will be helping you figure out the number that you will actually need to become financially free and how many years it would actually take you to get to that number. In doing that, I will be also using this calculator to figure out what your current net worth is. So just let me walk you through what all things we'll be doing today. So as you see on the screen right now, there is this 4% rule that you may have heard of. If not, I'll just quickly give you a glimpse into that. What 4% rule essentially says is that, let us say you have 1 crore corpus right now available in your account. So if you keep withdrawing 4% of that every year, essentially, which is 4 lakh rupees, so you can keep on doing that eternally. And where this theory comes from is that, if you invest this amount into equity, right? So in equity, you can assume a safe return of 10% per annum, and then you can uh, subtract the inflation of 6%, right? And which essentially comes to this number of 4%, right? So that is where this number 4% essentially comes from, right? So that is the rule, but obviously we none of us knows this 10% will remain or not, while there is much more likelihood that it would be much higher than 10%. But still, to make a very conservative opinion, what we have done is we have used a 2.5% rule. So what 2.5% rule does is it replaces this 4% by 2.5%. So essentially, what we are going to do is that we'll be asking you in the calculator your number that you are expending today monthly, and based on that, how much you are investing in your SIPs, etc., etc. We'll be computing in how many years you should be comfortably able to reach your financial freedom number. What data you'll need to enter: your monthly expenses, your so also what I have added in this is your US stocks component, which is basically your RSUs and ESPP. If you are aware, RSUs are restricted stock units, ESPP are employee stock purchase plans. So a lot of US companies offer that to their employees, like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, etc. So if you are one of those, you can choose this. Otherwise, there is a binary button in there, 1 0, you can mention in that. If you're not under this category, you can just simply mention it as 0, and you could be good to go. But if you come under that category, it will be automatically computing your number of the US stocks as per the current USD INR rate, etc. Thirdly, you'll be required to provide details of your current assets. Again, another important aspect is this entire calculator is taking into account only your current liquid assets, in terms of freedom, financial freedom. I'm not considering any of your real estate, any of your non-liquid investments for this purpose. So again, typical NPS, PPF, EPF stocks, mutual funds, all of these are some things that you will actually need to enter. Beyond this, what I'll also ask you in the calculator is any of your, monthly recurring investments, all right? As in your SIPs, your recurring deposits, in your fixed deposits or RDs, any PPF amount investment, any EPF that you're doing monthly, right? Any employee stock purchase plan that you may be enrolled in, wherein, let us say, you are adding into your US stocks portfolio of 50,000, 60,000, or 10,000 per month, whatever amount that may be. So that based on all of these numbers, we would be able to come to the final digit as to, 10 years is the number when you will be financially free. All right. So with that, coming to our Excel or the Google Sheet, again, just one quick call out before I get into details of this. Whenever I am sharing the link to this, please just go ahead into the file and make a copy of it. Do not try to edit into this, because you won't be able to. You will just have view rights, not the edit rights to the sheet. So just make a copy of it. You didn't need not ask me for a permission to this sheet. You just make a copy and you should be good to go. All right, with that out of the way, Yeah, this is the sheet I was referring to. If this is too small, maybe let me try to make it a little bigger. Maybe, yeah. It is not allowing me to, but yeah, should be okay, I believe. Uh, yeah. All right, so it starts with this monthly expense. Uh, all right, so let us go ahead and keep filling in some details. So let us say our monthly expense is 120,000 or 1,20,000 today. For kids' education in, let us say, 10 years from now, I would need a 1 CR of corpus. For some other life goals during the retirement, I may need another 1 CR. Uh, Beyond that, the monthly investments I was talking about, for example, if you're investing monthly in your US stocks through your employer, the ESPP, you may mention that number over here, mention it as a zero if not. If you're doing a RD or a recurring monthly deposit in your bank, you can mention that monthly amount over here. If you're doing a stock SIP, yeah, you're right. So there is a way to invest monthly into the stocks through a lot of platforms that are available out there. If you're doing any of that, you can mention that amount. If you're doing a mutual fund SIP, you can mention that SIP amount over here in this column. So let us say 50,000 is that, or maybe let us change it to 60. All right, so 60,000 is your SIP. If you're investing into the NPS, the National Pension Scheme through the CCD2, wherein your employer contributes to the NPS, you can mention that. If it is CCD1, those are two sections of the Income Tax Act, basically. CCD 80, CCD1 and CCD2, I believe. The number may be different though. Yeah. All right. If you're investing in the provident fund, typically which is available in your respective banks, which comes under ATC, limit is I think 1,50,000 per year. So you can mention that amount as well over here. So if you're investing like let us say 150,000 per month, 1,50,000 per year, sorry. So you can just divide it by 12 and mention that particular amount over here. If you are doing it in a EPF, which obviously 12% of your amount gets deducted from your salary and automatically goes towards EPF, that is another amount I am considering in this overall calculator. And then any additional saving, saving bank additional increments that you do per month. So let's say your differential of salary, which remains after all of these investments, and you have not expensed it, you want to keep it per month, you can just keep that number over here. Coming to the US stocks number that I was mentioning for those US companies, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and others, for the employees working in India. If you want to enter that, you can just make this as one. And then I've made provision for three companies. If you have holding stocks from your past two employers and maybe your current employer, you can mention the ticker over here. Ticker is important because that would actually be able to get the price for the current value of this particular stock. So it would, you can mention how many RSU units, how many ESPP units you have, and based on that, it will compute your total INR price on date. So for example, let me change this to 5. It will automatically change if this was not Adobe but Coinbase, let us say. So it will automatically compute the current price of Coinbase, which is 132 USD today. Uh, yeah, and based on that, it computes the number. So all right, that is all you need to do. And beyond this, everything else will be computed. Only the yellow cells are the ones that you need to edit. These are not the ones that you would need to edit. So I'll leave these. No, sorry, these are things that you need to edit as well. So all right, this was the incremental contribution you're making to these. Now you'll have some contribution that you have already made into these, and you already hold these assets. So again, all those same things, which is your national pension scheme, PPF, EPF, etc. How much value do you hold in each of those today? You can just mention that. So you can put your own numbers over here as well. So yeah, these are some dummy numbers that I've put over here. So let's say 7.09, and EPF would be some 5, whatever, 20.3. And you can actually change all of these numbers. And again, all of these numbers are in lakhs. So yeah, the above number were in actuals. These are in lakhs. So just make a note of that. Now this would show you your total net worth as on date. And another important factor that you would see once you have entered all of these details is that it gives you what financial freedom number for you is. So based on your monthly expenses of 1,20,000 and additional corpus of 2 CR, it is giving you a financial freedom number of 7.76 crores as per the 2.5% rule as I just mentioned. If you want to change it, maybe you can actually just change this formula. Instead of 40, just mention it as 25, and that should make it a 4% rule. Yeah, actually. So if you change this 40 to 25, that would become the 4% rule. But we'll stick to what it is currently. So based on that, 14.34 years is what it will take you to actually come to the financial freedom number, and actual date for that would be 31st of May 2038. If instead of that I assume uh, 4% rule and mention this as 25, you will see that this number has changed and reduced to 11 years. And instead of 2038, you'll become financially free by 2035. So exactly, it gives you your today. So all of this is now, and this is later, basically, that it is getting computed automatically. So all your investments, all your yearly contributions, the SIPs which you mentioned are getting mentioned over here. What I've done is I've mentioned some typical returns that you can expect from these asset classes. You can again change each of these and play it around for yourself. But yeah, that is essentially what I have done for keeping it simple. And based on this, you should be able to comfortably figure out what number would you need for your 2.5 versus 4% rule. For simplicity, I can also add whether you want a 2.5% or a 4% rule. So I'll maybe add that at a later point in time. But yeah, essentially that is the simple free financial calculator that I have created, and I hope you find it useful. If you do, please do mention that in the comments section. With that, signing off. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.